I'm gonna focus next.
We are live, Jeffrey.
Sup, Mr. Doug.
Did
Happy
I
holidays.
did I catch you off guard?
Oh, that's okay.
It didn't give me the countdown. It just kept spinning. I usually get a 3, 2, 1 um, countdown or whatever. But we just want to welcome everybody. Doug Rucker here with Jeff Blackman, and just kind of going to do a little update on our difference makers conference and our pressure washing training coming up in Florida in February, end of February. But first up, we've got to talk about Jeff's uh, parking lot striping course. That's January 18th and 19th, correct?
Yes, sir. Held right here in Spring, Texas at 8826 Louetta Road, Suite 308. We're excited. We're excited about it, Doug. This is going to be the first one for 2024. Um, Encouraging you guys, hey, if you're interested in learning how to add parking lot striping to your business, this is the course. So we're teaching, like I say, in that course, day one will be educational on ADA regulations, fire marshal codes, and different ways how to price, how many linear feet of paint you should be getting out of a bucket of paint. Teaching more about marketing strategies. Not only are we teaching you about it, but we're teaching you how to go out and secure some contracts. And also, we're talking how to kind of reword your proposals, how to use the correct verbiage in your proposals and things like that to secure some of these contracts. And day two, one of the ones that I love the most is the hands-on training. We actually bring you outside and let you play with some real paint, get you familiar with the type of machines like a Graco 30 or 3400 or Titan 2850. Those are some of the familiar machines that we're recommending that you start out with. So yeah, get online registered. The first one of 2024 will be held, like I said, right here in Spring, Texas at 8826 Louetta Road, Suite 308. And you can also go on Doug's site as well, powerwashing.com, right, Doug? Yeah.
pressurewashingschool.com slash events, but I've also got the MrShinePowerWash.com link down below if people want to go there. That's the easiest place to go and sign up. So Jeff, how long? Let me ask you a question. How long have you been striping?
I've been striping Doug now over 17 years.
17 years.
Over 17.
And what caused you to get into striping? What, were you cleaning a lot of parking lots and just saw the need?
I actually got approached by one of a company that I was doing some work for, one of our contracts that we power wash for, asked me, do we do line striping? And so eventually I hooked up with a guy out of Dallas, Texas, and he started doing it for me. But I asked him to train me, and he trained me a little bit, the basics on what to do. And that's how I started doing it, because a lot of my vendors was asking me to about the parking lot striping. So I said, wow, and come to find out, Doug, that it wasn't just a want, it was a need.
Right, right. And you teach on pricing, how to price parking lot striping as well, right? Like how many linear line, how figuring out the linear line feet that you need, if it's fire lane or not, handicap.
Right. And we teach when we teach in pricing, we're teaching the pricings based on the color of the paint because our fire lane paint is more expensive than white or yellow or blue.
Right.
And we teach that on how to price it by the linear feet. We show you how to get the linear feet based on how many lines down there, because we teach that a standard line by ADA regulations and laws is an 18-foot line. So you would take that just say for instance, you got 10 lines and you would take that 18 and you would multiply it by that 10 and get 180 linear feet. And then you would, according to the Houston market industry, that price would be anywhere between 25 cents to 35 cents a linear foot.
Okay. Okay. So that's all the kind of stuff and the ADA regulations, the pricing. So that's the kind of stuff you teach, but one of the things, and we're going to talk about the Difference Makers Conference in a minute, but one of the things that we've been pushing, trying to help guys with is pricing their services. And I think it's important that they know, because the importance of adding this parking lot striping to your business, or even just starting one, is if you're cleaning parking lots, there's a good chance that they're going to want to have it striped. So if you don't do both of those, there's a good shot that they may just choose the contractor that does them both, so that they pay one person. Correct?
Right. We had that on several occasions.
Right.
That property manager told us that, well, we'd rather write one check than a bunch of checks.
Correct. So it's important that they know from the cleaning standpoint how much they can clean per hour. So when you're cleaning a parking lot, how many square feet can you clean per hour based on the equipment? I don't even know what equipment that you're using.
Based on the equipment that we're using, normally when we do a turnaround job like that in one day, I would say that we have turned around like anywhere from 90,000 to 100 square feet of concrete in one day. But that's based on we're using four 48-inch surface cleaners, and we're using 8-gallon-a-minute machines. So, but on an average, just cleaning job, we would easily go in and clean in an hour's time, easy clean 10 to 20,000 square feet based on the equipment we're using.
Right. So yeah, I'm generally anywhere between 5 to 8,000 square foot an hour using one machine, 24-inch surface cleaner. But that depends a lot on the variables, because the variables play into that, and you've got to be able to spot those variables, the water access, low-lying areas that are going to puddle, how much water you got to move, how dirty it is, the curbs, the car stops, all of that kind of stuff. So when you're, too often times we see people on some of these Facebook groups ask, how much did I charge for this? Well, there's just too many variables. Number one, we can't see the property. And number two, we don't know what the numbers are for your business. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing, guys, at the Difference Makers Conference coming up in February, is we're going to be going over all of that, how to price. We actually will have a worksheet. You remember that worksheet we did last time, where people are actually going to be able to sit there and figure out the numbers based on their individual business. So if there's 10 or 15 guys in the room, each 10 or 15 guys is going to be able to figure out what their pricing at an hourly rate could be for their specific business. Right.
And a lot of times too, I want to piggyback on something you said about the water situation. That, that's why it's hard to price jobs like that, because it depends on what municipality you're in. You can go out and rent a fire meter and hook up to the fire hydrant, and that'll save you time. And I think I'm gonna say, according to the Houston market, I know that it's something like 2 cents a gallon to rent. You have to put down like a X amount of dollars for that deposit. But that, when it comes to pricing, that's when you factor all that stuff into your cost to make sure that they're covering that. But it's also giving you that sufficiency time, enough time to get in there and turn that job around. Like I say, some days we go in, we get out there at 7 o'clock that morning. We through cleaning that square footage probably about around 1 o'clock. Just say 1 o'clock. We take a little break, and we got another crew coming behind us striping. So we're able to get in there and tell the people where it's going to take us Friday, the facility closed on Friday. We need Saturday and Sunday to be ready to open back Monday. But in the back of our mind, we already know we're gonna be through Saturday.
Right. Right.
So that's a lot of things that you have to figure out when pricing. And another thing too, Doug, in the striping industry, uh, when pricing, you have to always have, and I know in the power washing industry as well, you always have to have a minimum cost, because I don't want to say go out there and stripe 10 lines and that may not be nothing but $160, but your material and your overhead, your cost and everything is 300 and something bucks. So
Correct.
us here in the Houston industry, we have a minimum cost of 550.
Right.
So that's what we use to cover everything in that way. So those are some of the things that we teach, and I also know that we was teaching that at the Difference Makers Conference as well. So it's a lot of different ways into pricing. I mean, everybody price different.
Correct. And to me, there's no real industry standard. I know a lot of people, there may be an industry standard, but I've never paid attention to that, because that industry standard has nothing to do with what keeps my business profitable. Same thing in the store. When we sell things, I've got to sell at a certain margin in order to keep the doors open, or we have to close. So one of the very first things you have to do, of course, we always say the number one thing that you have to have if you're going to start a business like this is a vision. You got to be able to see what you're going to do and vision it. But you've got to know what your pricing is. You can't go buy equipment. You can't go starting the business up and get everything going and then ask people, what should I charge?
Right.
If you don't know that beforehand going in, you have no clue whether or not. That just tells me you haven't done a business plan. You haven't done any projections.
Right.
You know what I mean? You haven't forecast for the future. You basically forecasted for failure, because you've got to know what it's going to take to keep your business sustainable and profitable. And you've also got to know if there's a problem out there that you're going to solve. If
Right. And I like to tell a lot of guys, I think it was about a couple of days ago, I had a guy call me. He was talking to me about a job, about doing a proposal and all that. And I kind of explained to him, don't be so quick to jump in to want to get that proposal back to them like that one within an hour. So I know a turnaround time is good, but you have to look at it just as you're doing a job. You give your customer a window space that you're going to be there. Give them a time, Hey, I can have this proposal back to you. If today is Wednesday, I can have it back to you Thursday by the end of the day, because I need to sit down and count the costs. I need to see what it's going to cost me for the water on this job. I need to see how many men it's going to take me, or what chemicals or supplies I got to use, because a lot of times we're so quick to go jump out to get that proposal because we want that job so bad that we just go out there. Now you get out there now and you find out that the job is going to cost you 3 times more to do. So now you want to go back to the client and say, well, I missed this and do that. No, that's not how I go. That's not good business. You got to sit there now. You didn't sit down. You didn't count the cost. You didn't run your numbers. So now guess what? You got to eat that cost.
Right.
So, and I like to hear you say it all the time. You say it all at the Difference Maker Conference. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
Right. Exactly. So, hey, Brandon from Jacksonville, Florida says he's considering attending the training in February. So, Brandon, hope you can make it, man. If you have any questions, just let me know. Hit me up by text or email. Yeah, Jacksonville's a great area, but I hope you can make it down to Cocoa. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a good one. And then somebody named Damage says, I was told soft water will provide longevity to your coil burner. What are your thoughts, Jeff?
Doug, I want to let you the expert in that area.
Well, my thoughts are from my soft water system selling days many years ago, is that soft water will provide longevity to everything, because it's taking a lot of the minerals and stuff out of the water. So you're dealing with cleaner water. So I would think that would, what you're asking, I would think is correct. I just don't know how you're going to use soft water on every job, or if you're talking about just using it to run through every now and then. But I haven't seen a soft water softener or water softener on a house in quite a few years. I don't know what's happened with those, but I know they're still out there. But yeah, I would think soft water would provide longevity to it. So. Hey, one of the things also, Jeff, going along with that pricing is Kelsey, our CPA, is going to be there as well. She actually won't be there. She'll be there via Zoom doing her presentation via Zoom. She'll be doing it live. So everybody that attends will have the opportunity to ask Kelsey, our CPA, any type of questions concerning your business, and she's going to go through with us things that need to happen. That she'll go through that stuff that Jeff and I were just talking about, how to know your business before you get your business started, right, so that you can better plan. So that's one of the segments. And then Jeff, you're going to be talking about creating that vision that we just talked about a little bit ago.
Yes, creating a vision. And Doug, I like teaching that. It was so hilarious. I'm not gonna say live. I brought one of my vision boards out at the last Difference Makers conference. I had some things on there that we was, believing for. But no, that vision, I think is when dealing with vision is so important. You want to create that vision board, something that you can keep before you day and night, something that's gonna hold you accountable for what you're trying to accomplish in your business or your personal life or whatever it may be, and on that vision board, I recommend you, if you want that 8-gallon a minute or 10-gallon machine, you put that on your vision board, because everything that's created always starts with what we like to say is with a vision.
Right.
Vision is very, very important. You have to find that time out of your busy schedule, whether it's night or whether it's day, or if you taking a lunch break, you have to sit there and meditate on the vision, because you got to know where you're going. If you don't, it's kind of like my dad used to say, if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there.
Correct.
Right. So that's the importance of vision, and I love teaching about vision. And Doug, one more thing I wanted to say about Kelsey was that Vaughn and I was talking after the Difference Makers conference, and we were saying, man, wow, for the price that you have this Difference Maker conference price, that, man, just her alone as a CPA, you can't even go in and sit down and talk to a CPA for that cost.
Correct.
And then the information that she's given, and I mean, she's giving stuff that the CPA won't even talk to you on your first visit, maybe the first quarter you visit with them. They're sharing that stuff with you, but here you making it available for them and myself to see some of the things that we go into business, but we don't understand what we're going into, and she's able to break it down. Man, I'm telling you guys, this sheet on pricing is so amazing. So I said, you know what? I'm going back. I'm going to use that sheet myself.
Right. Yeah. Vaughn messaged me yesterday, asking me to email it to him, and I was quite. It made me feel really good at the last one when I looked over and saw your two reaction to that sheet and how involved, and y'all actually got involved filling it out. And Vaughn just kept going, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, it's a sheet that we make available to the Difference Makers attendees, because we go through a whole process of teaching them how to set their pricing so that when they walk onto any job, they can figure what they need to charge to keep their company successful, to keep it profitable. Okay. So that means guy over here may figure out that he needs to charge $125 an hour. Another guy figures up based on his expenses, he's got to charge $250 an hour. That's okay. You have to learn then how to sell your value because you're higher than the other guy. You got to be able to sell your services, all of that kind of stuff to overcome that. You can't just take your price and drop it down to match him, because then you're going to become what? Unprofitable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not as easy as a lot of people think that you can just grab a pressure washer, go out there and start making money. You'll start making money, but in the end, you'll find out that you're losing money. So, I mean, and when I say that, I mean, you'll bring some money in, but by the time your expenses start adding up and all that kind of stuff, you find out you've got no money left. And the reason is you haven't figured out what it costs to keep you profitable based on expenses to run a business like that.
Right.
So we're going to do that. That's part of the Difference Makers Conference, which is going to be on the Friday. Thursday, we're doing hands-on training. I'm doing hands-on training where we're actually at a church building and we're cleaning some of the walls of the building. We're going to show you how to clean concrete. And I'm not talking about just standing behind a surface cleaner and pushing it. I'm talking about what we look at when we get set up, what we look at when we're pricing, how we're determining water access locations, how many movements, all kinds of stuff that go into that. So we'll do that. And also I'm going to actually jump up on a roof and probably get up there with Ricardo. Ricardo's going to be there. So I'll get up there, help him and show you how to clean a roof. We'll go over property protection for all those types of services. Just all kind of full one-day training, all hands-on training, no classroom. We're just going to be cleaning. People that attend can take the wand and do some cleaning. I can't let them up on the roof, but I can show them in the parking lot how we spray roofs and all that kind of stuff too. But for insurance reasons, I can't let people up on the roof. So, but they can clean the walls, they can clean concrete, all that kind of stuff. And then Saturday is your parking lot striping course.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna restripe the church's parking lot.
Correct.
So we're gonna work on it.
Yeah, it's a I would say a medium to large. It's not overly big, but it's got quite a few stripes out there. So we're going to restripe the parking lot for the church. By the way, the church is not paying us anything for this. We're doing this to help the church out and also to be able to provide training. It's a great location to provide the training. So it's not like we're making money on the end of the cleaning aspect. We're doing this mainly because we've got a great spot there. In case folks want to know, my brother happens to be the pastor of the church there. And so I was there a few months back, and we had what was called a siblings weekend where all my brother and my two sisters, we all got together. And so when I saw the church and saw it needed some cleaning, I said, hey, Ding, why don't we do a training out here and let's train some people and clean the church up for free. So that's, again, folks, that's February 22nd, 23rd, 24th in Cocoa, Florida. It's only 45 minutes from Orlando airport. You can fly in there, but I know there's a lot of folks in Florida that have been asking us to do training in Florida. So this is a great opportunity to do that.
Right. And Doug, I love that you take the time out to put on a training like this here. And a lot of guys, this would eliminate some of the questions that they be having. You know, get there. Don't be afraid to pick up the one because that's the only way you're going to learn. You know, and courses like this here, and for the price that you're doing, this is an investment. This is not like going buy a pair of tennis shoes you're going to wear for a good 3 or 4 months and throw them in the corner. This is a training that's it's gonna revolutionize not only your personal life, but your business as well. And also, we recommend you, man, bring your spouse with you. You know, because I think it's Miss Kathy teaches this. What is it called? Observations.
Yes.
And man, does she teach it? Yeah, she have you sitting on the front of your seat. So I'm recommending you guys make it a little mini vacation or whatever, especially some of you guys that's up north. If you don't have anything to do, you're not working right now. Hey, when the snow does melt, guess what? The ground is gonna be dirty, the concrete's gonna be dirty. Now you able to go in, you have another entity to your business that you can offer, which is striping. And I'm gonna make sure when you leave Cocoa, Florida, you're going to be ready to strike. You're going to be able to go out and do a parking lot.
Right. Oh, I can promise you guys that, you know, from what you're paying, and by the way, you can pay for the single day event if you want to. You can come just to the difference makers, you can come just to the hands-on, or you can come just to the parking lot striping. Or you can purchase the all access pass, which will save you $100 if you attend all 3 of them. But I can pretty much promise you, I'm not gonna make a guarantee because it depends on the person and the action they take when they leave. But
Right.
You'll make this money back up, I mean, so quickly if you just implement half of what we tell you. Okay. If you just implement half of what we tell you, I promise you, you're going to double your money within at least the first couple of weeks. But the important thing is education without action is just entertainment. Okay. So if you come down here and you attend all 3 events, but you leave and don't put any of it to action, then you just paid a good amount of money to come get entertained. Okay. But it'll be the best money you spend, I promise you, because the amount of knowledge and amount of experience that we're sharing with you is worth way more. I can tell you that for sure. So,
Right.
well, thanks, Jeff. Just wanted to come on and give everybody another update. We'll come back probably again after the first of the year, or maybe next week. I don't know. I'm kind of tied up next week. How about you?
Oh, what next week? Next week is Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's after Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I'll be free whenever you're ready.
Okay. You always are. I know. I knew I shouldn't even ask that.
I'll make it happen.
I know. I shouldn't even ask that. So, but anyway, thanks guys for joining us. Jeff, hope y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to all our customers out there in YouTube land and Facebook and all that, we sure do appreciate y'all's business over the past year, whether it be for the school or the store. It's just an awesome thing that y'all trust us to help you grow your business and be successful. And we appreciate y'all so much. So everybody have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Jeff, I will talk to you soon.
Peace.